It is Monday, and you know what time it is? Shannon?
Margarita Monday?
Margarita Monday. No, it is not Margarita Monday. I thought we're skipping that today, aren't we?
Yes, we are, but that doesn't not mean it's Margarita Monday. It's just mean we're abstaining from Margarita Monday.
This is true. So true, so true. My headphones are acting up over here. I think they've been unplugged and plugged back in one too many times. But we're going to talk about what's going on and business picking back up. Some of the things we got going on around the shop. Michelle being back. She's been here quite a bit.
Well, it's not so much quite a bit as in she's been back at regular timing. Monday through Wednesday.
Yeah, 3 days a week. Well, I mean, she's back to her regular schedule.
Yeah, so it's not quite a bit. It's just regular schedule.
Quite a bit more than we're used to, which was none.
I've missed her.
Me too, and I don't even get to enjoy her company because I'm out in the shop.
Yeah, and you
sweating
totes
it
don't
out.
resent me for it.
What's that?
You totes don't resent me for getting to enjoy her company.
You're not checking stuff off on the calendar. You got shirts to count. We'll get all that figured out. I think we need to, now that things are semi back to normal, I think we need to get things a little more organized and how we used to do things.
Yes, boss.
You remember that? You remember when you used to go and count the shirts and make sure everything was hunky-dory? And
it's also really
now
hot.
you just play on your phone.
It's also really hot.
Yeah. Yeah. You used to come out and help even though it was hot. What's up, Bagware? Nilaja States, what's going on? Rise Apparel, how you doing? Welcome. We're going to give it a few more minutes and wait for some more people to tune in, and then we'll switch it over to our lovely faces. We hope everybody had a good weekend. What did y'all do this weekend? Let us know in the chat. Our weekend was a pretty busy one, and we're and when I say busy, it's more of a personal busy. So we needed some time to. Well, we had a friend's birthday party that we went to, and we went to the beach. This was a lot of fun, and we didn't get back till 2 a.m. I didn't think it was 2 a.m., but
it was.
Man,
I promise.
Are you able to see the chat?
Yes.
Okay, cool. You want to say howdy to some people?
Okay, Rise Apparel has a question that we can get into about the template. We'll get into it later. Rise, we won't forget about you. We'll answer in a bit. Tommy!
What's
and
up, Tommy?
Rafa, thank you. I enjoy you saying you enjoy my feed.
What is it? Is it Apollo's feed?
No.
The Instagram thing?
No, it's just enjoy your feeds.
Oh, cool. Thank you. I thought he was just talking about your totally awesome Instagram account, which y'all should go check out. It's pictures of food on top of Apollo's head.
It's not just food.
Excuse me. It's an orange.
There's a shoe. There's a book.
There's a book.
It's mostly food.
It is mostly food. He doesn't care to balance no shoe on his head.
Bagware wants to know the largest order we've ever had and what's the largest we would take. We'll take as big as they'll give us.
I mean, we've had people toss around
Sin!
want quotes for like 40,000. It was, what was that they wanted, Shannon? The largest order we've done was something here recently, was the 3,200 shirts front and back, which was
how many colors was it?
The back was either 5 or 6, and the front was 5 as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Because it is basically the same thing. But yeah, 3,200.
So
total
6,200.
6,400.
Yeah, 6,400
prints in total. Or was it 3,100? Anyways, it took us, man, pretty much a week to knock it out. The first day we knocked out 2,000, and then after that we were beat. We couldn't keep up with it at that pace, at least.
Well, at least
Not
not
us.
when we were running the skeleton crew.
Nah, yeah. So it was Shannon, myself, Panda, and then one of Panda's friends came in and helped. But we
were doing like
we'll
500 an hour.
For us, what we do is if we get a big order, we'll hire extra help to come in and help us with.
Sin!
What's up, Sin? What's up?
No,
T-shirt
she wants to
chick?
come hang out with us next week.
Oh, awesome! That'd
Yes,
be great.
yes, you can.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to swing by. Are you just going to be strolling through town, or are you coming to hang out with us to come hang out? You're going to make that drive to come hang out. That'd be awesome.
Tommy says 6,400 is insane, and while I agree, I've talked to people that are that get like they're calling and asking Matt for advice, but he's not available. So I'm like, on the other line pretending I know what I'm doing. And they're telling me about these orders of like 20,000, 50,000 shirts that they have to do. And I'm just like looking at them going, how many,
We would have to rent another warehouse to store that stuff in and kind of do it in shifts by day.
That's what he did. That's what he said he did. Like he sent out a little at a time.
Right.
Like he would stagger it so that he could get like, maybe 600 or so printed and then work on another job and then 600 again printed, send it out maybe the day after that. And he would just stagger it so that he could, and they weren't like beating down his door for it. They just wanted it like as it came in type of thing.
Right. I imagine something like that many shirts, 40,000 of them. I'm trying to do the math in my head as I'm getting out a calculator. That would take, that would take us months, at least a few months to knock out.
Rafa, we went to the
one
beach
automatic.
too. I didn't get eaten by a shark, so I considered it a success.
It's always a success when nobody's eaten by a shark.
To be fair, though, I feel like
They
a
don't-
shark bite scar would be like one of the most badass scars you could ever get.
Dude, in that water, though, you're lucky if your leg would not get gangrene or something from a shark bite.
Well, it's all about treating it properly immediately. As long as you treat it immediately, you've got a very good likelihood of just, having a really badass scar. I would like that scar. I want a shark bite scar.
I almost lost my foot just stepping on something in a lake.
Yeah, but you were a
And
teenager, and I'm guessing you ignored it.
No, I drove home. My friends drove me home, and then I was like, Mom, look, I stepped on something. My foot hurts really bad, and they're like, okay, let's go.
That sounds like a different story than what I heard.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I thought
drove-
you waited a while to tell them.
Once I got home, I waited probably maybe 5 minutes because I'm like, okay, no, I can't shy away from this being like.
Okay, so when we go to Jamaica, a shark bite wouldn't be so bad. Would be pretty badass.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Just not in Galveston. You don't want to be bit by a shark in Galveston. I think that even if he'd probably lose a limb.
Would you still love me if I was a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest?
If you were a one-legged man, no.
Oh, a one-legged woman in an ass-kicking contest.
You in an ass-kicking contest? You can't even stand up on 2 feet.
Is this a no? I feel like this is a no.
No, this is a very hypothetical question because.
Oh, you've heard the phrase
you've
busier
got-
than a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest.
Yeah.
So if I had one leg, would you still love me?
Of course I would. Why wouldn't I?
Because I'd hop.
Can I keep the leg?
No. just no.
I can't turn it into a lamp.
No, you can't have.
can
It's
have
not gonna be
it,
your lamp. Oh God, that's like serial killer right there. Okay.
Well-
Anyways,
Christmas Story, if y'all don't get the reference. Although it was just a
hi,
plastic
Being
leg.
Creations. And Bagware wants Sin to come visit after she comes and says hi to us. She wants her to go to Cali.
We've let's switch it over. We've
Okay.
been sitting here with the just the hold screen thingamadooter. Let's kick it. if it will kick over. There we go. Now we're talking. Man, watching that intro makes me want to post some more videos.
I can't believe that my intro part is the falling down, which I like because I did suggest it, but at the same time it makes me feel silly.
Why does it make you feel silly? That's
Did you see the way my eyes pop out?
That's
It's
Shannon
like,
and her that just captures the essence of you. I think it's amazing. Yeah, a little bit. All right, let's go over to the chat and see what the dealio.
All right, well, Cin's gonna call us.
Yeah, Sin, you got my phone number. Text me, call me, or you can call the landline. Say hi to Shannon. Just let us know what time to expect you, because with everything going on around the shop, we don't want to miss you or be. We want to slot in some time for you. Make sure we got some time. What were you gonna say, Shannon?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Rafa, you guys are awesome. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate that. You know, we tried.
Ghost Gaming, sup guys? Yo.
What up?
I think it's very quiet today. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so tired.
The beach. This whole weekend just wore us out, and it was a pretty long week as well, I would say.
Ain't no rest for the wicked.
Right.
Except I'm an angel.
Things are definitely picking back up. I know we've kind of talked about this before, but it's to the point towards where Michelle's in here, back to her normal amount, and we're back to trying to keep up with our calendar. We're getting a lot of last minute stuff too.
Yeah, we got a rush. We got a rush from this was actually a fun thing. Well, it was terrible while it happened. Matt got a contract order from a guy, and they ended up really butting heads.
Well, that was because of the embroidery stuff.
But I'm just saying, you guys butted heads. And finally, the girl, the wife called me, and we took both of them out of the equation. And suddenly she and I are getting along beautifully. And now they're sending 3 more orders over to us. All we had to do was take the alphas out of the situation.
You know what that was?
They were just like going like bah, 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 at each other. And the wife and I are just sitting there like talking, and we're just like, okay, so we're just going to handle this. And we get along fine because we're both like nice and we don't want to butt heads.
I'm gonna say this. It was because of some embroidery stuff that we outsourced. It was sent to Shannon's email, and I had to get into the mix, and it was a whole cluster, you know what. So I can't say. I will say that, and I'll admit, once we started, it wasn't even me bickering. It's just like, okay, we need to do something about this, Shannon. And then he started sending nasty emails. I was like, but we've already talked about it. I don't want to like rehash that out.
But it's turned into something good.
It has, and I think that's awesome.
She and I are connecting on a great level, and now we're getting more orders from it.
I think that with that order in particular, it was set on a little too long when all their stuff is just like rush.
And it's not all rush.
Yeah, it is.
No, she actually
they overnight everything.
Yeah, that should have been a red flag, actually.
Yeah, because then they're like, okay, we need them now, type of situation. And I haven't. You were swamped. I was swamped. I think we just need another person in here to help me out in the shop. That'll give me some more free time to get back to
We need a new shop guy.
recording videos, helping you with things. I need more time to be able to manage things, because I think you and Michelle could probably use a little management in here, because y'all tend to y'all have it pretty easy going. Just a little bit. I'm a little jealous as to y'all sitting in the AC, being able to chat with one another. I'm out there all by my lonesome, out in the heat, printing t-shirts. And y'all are chatty. And you get on your phone a lot. Hi, Shannon. I don't know why you're looking at me like that. Why are you mean mugging me? You're the one over there on your phone chatting. Hey, Shannon, let's go over to the chat. Do you not want to be on live today, Shannon? Because I can do it by myself. You good?
I'm good.
Okay, well, you're being quiet.
Well, I'm having a performance review on live
You're
stream.
you're not having a performance review. I'm just pulling your chain. You do a great job. Let's say that. Now get after it.
All right, Ghost Gaming. Great job on the dark versus light design. Looking forward to them on the shirts. Oh, so
What now?
that's Michelle. So I'll let Michelle know that you said good job. I'm glad to hear it. Hey Mo, still getting to you, I promise.
What is it about him coming on?
No, it's just like a lot of things.
Is that what it is about him coming on?
No, it's a lot of things.
Which things? The embroidery thing?
Yeah, the things that. Why are you being?
No, I'm just asking, goofball.
I said it's about a lot of things.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you got to fill me in.
I tried to. Okay, Bad Brad, yo. Hey Shannon, what's a case? Hi AC. Gothic Emperor, yes. Jacob, I know. I'll make sure Michelle knows. I don't know what just happened. I think guys were really tired, so we're kind of testy with each other. I think that's what's going on. He just left. So people, please comment so I can answer something, because he's just gone. Yeah, we've been cranky. We're tired. We're cranky. That's really what's going on.
Sorry, I had to go pee real quick. Okay. Sorry, it was last minute stuff. Last minute. All right, who said what?
Rafa says is asking about preferred emulsion and why. Does thread count matter for the type of emulsion one uses? Justin. Oh God, sorry, Justin. I know it was Justin. I'm sorry, I said Jacob, but I'm telling you, my brain's fried. Pretty Wicked Desire. Yeah, like that was weird. I know. That's not actually the usual.
What was it?
Well, you just kind of up and left. And she's like, first time joining in. That was pretty intense.
My bad. So we finished up work. Hold on, I'm going to switch this over. And I'm going to answer that question as well. Now, we just finished work. Today, we've had a lot of walk-ins, an unexpected one. Someone that
and we're
grew
really
up
tired.
Grew up with. Yeah, we had a long weekend. Someone I grew up with was texting over the weekend. He didn't even really realize what day of the week it was. And so he came in first thing, and he's just got a lot of ideas, which I think are amazing. Like they're and for like a really good cause too. So he came in, we talked about his designs and all that, and immediately afterwards, Wayne came, and so we're doing some stuff for Orange Star, some memorial shirts, and we're gonna tackle that for him as well. So we got like all these last minute things lined up, and we had so that friend I was talking about came back, and we were talking about the designs again, and then we had our clients come in, and they always come in a group of 4, and our office is pretty small, so we're all kind of like crammed in here, and this is pretty much right before closing time, and I had to finish one of those shirts up. Missed one of those shirts. Luckily, I still had the press set up. Like, that was the last thing I printed. Anthony stopped by and came and got us shirts. Like, it's been hectic, and
I've actually jinxed myself though, because I sat down at the desk today, and I went, gosh, I hope we don't have any walk-ins.
Yeah, Shannon was hoping for a little bit quieter of a Monday. Mondays always tend to be a pretty busy day.
And also, I still have beach hair.
She's still got beach. Like, we face planted as soon as we got home
At 2 a.m.
and then woke up, came up here, changed out of our bathing suits in which we face planted in. Came up here, straightened up the shop a little bit, and have just been going at it.
And then the first thing that happens in the morning is
I remember thinking when I took a little bit of time to have some lunch and kind of decompress for a second, I was like, man, I'm so tired. I wish it wouldn't be like an uncomfortable thing for me just to be like, I'm gonna take a nap on the futon.
I have the exact same thought.
and so I was like, man, if I could squeeze in an hour nap or something like that, I would feel that much more
actually
recharge, so to speak.
I had that thought, but at the same time I was like, Michelle would not care, but I would get in so much trouble with you.
You have taken a nap with Michelle working. I felt bad for her because I'm like, what's up with Shannon? She's like, oh, she's asleep. I'm like, oh, okay, let's
she doesn't care. Granted, it's not the most professional thing in the world, but if I am physically in pain, I think it'd be nicer just to pass out instead of like just complain a lot that I'm tired. Like, if I'm like shut up in a corner, like not talking, instead of I'm tired.
ANC Printing Plus is, I used to work around the clock, and all I hear is wow, wow, wow. We work around the clock. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's no different for us either. I mean, we don't really, this is life for us, really. Like, our day in, day out.
We go to dinner and we talk work.
We eat, breathe, sleep, work, and for us to actually have had, I mean, theoretically, we probably should have been catching up with some orders, but sometimes you got to take a little bit of a break.
I don't know. I'm feeling a little ragged around the edges. That's really what it is.
Today, yeah. Today, definitely.
No, I just mean like the last week or two, I just felt really ragged around the edges. I don't know what that is, but I'm just like, people talk to me, I'm like, huh?
That's what happens when you do work long days, and I'd say from the time that we like that 3,200 piece, 3,100, however many pieces it is,
6,400.
We hadn't really had a break.
Even the Memorial Day weekend wasn't really.
Yeah, I personally took a day Thursday this past week. I was like, I'm taking a day off. Things were getting kind of tense between Shannon and I, and it's been super hot out in the shop. I'm like, I need the day off to just relax, catch up on sleep, whatever the case may be. And I remember Mike, he came in, he's like, "Oh yeah, I've got my business on my property. We got a piece of land and our house is further back, and I don't even leave. I'll go to the lake and I'll just take the day off and go fishing." And I thought to myself, I'm not going to take the day off to go fishing because we don't have a cool setup or anything like that. But I was like, I just wanted to do something that kind of wasn't a stressful thing, but it ended up turning out to be kind of a stressful day anyways. Like, between trying to learn how to tune a fuel injected car and driving all around town, and Shannon and I we weren't quite happy with each other that particular day. So
and Michelle is just trying to be very, very, very small.
last week was rough, not only business wise, but just kind of like in our personal lives as well. Which, and I don't think it
was weird.
We didn't. I think one of the things that it's easy to forget when you own a business and you're busy and you're kind of soaking up everything coming in is taking some time for yourself to not feel so like constantly just wound up. Really, I think that's what a lot of it is. Remember when we were in the house and we had all this business coming in, and we were just completely stressed about deadlines and how are we going to manage these orders and all that. And it happened to, there were a couple weeks where we didn't handle it, so I kind of felt like...
You mean like when we broke up every night for a week?
Yeah.
I quit like every night for a week.
I kind of feel like this past week was borderline like getting to that point. Shannon quit, and I was like... She went outside and just chilled for a little bit, decompressed. I'm like, okay, we're both just kind of angry with each other. She's going to go out there and decompress. I'm just going to focus on work, get a couple orders done. Got them done. Felt good about that after the fact. And then she came back in, and
mostly because it was a guy peeing next to me.
Things were better once we kind of just I don't know how to explain it. I know how to explain it, but
it's more like us in tune. We know when to just drop it.
Yeah.
But okay.
And there's just been a lot of different, I'd say, with handling new clients, keeping up with our orders, and trying to balance the YouTube channel as well, which is, you know, it's almost a full-time job,
and trying to function through the exhaustion.
Right.
Like,
and
that's when you and I get the crankiest with each other, is when we're tired. Like, we almost just had like a fight like on YouTube because we're both just tired.
I wouldn't say we almost had a fight. It's just I can tell that there is...
I was about to pick a fight.
There's definitely tension there. There's exhaustion, and there's still, like, obviously there's still things that we need to talk about as far as the business goes, and maybe like we just need to get a good night's rest, and then tomorrow morning, like,
I just reset.
Have a meeting about like where what is, just get our ducks in a row kind of thing, and what do I not know about that I need to address, those kind of things. And I think that we'll get it to a better spot. We'll do the sleep part first.
Yeah.
All right, let's go over to the chat and see. Oh, so I'm sorry, I never got around to answering the question about the emulsion. You can use I lately I've just been using one type of emulsion instead of going back and forth between the two different types of emulsion. So I've been using Ulano TZ quite a bit. And the reason being is we do quite a bit of spot process stuff here in the shop. And you can use any emulsion on any mesh count. The only real difference is going to be how many times you might need to coat your screen. So your higher mesh counts, you can get away with using the sharp edge of your scoop coater and actually doing a 1-in-1. And for me, I prefer to do a 1-in-1 because I know that I'm going to get the best possible detail. I don't have to expose through as much emulsion. It's going to expose it a little bit faster. It's going to dry faster. When you get up like down to the 110s, as far as mesh count, more than likely you're going to need to use the round side of the scoop coater. And you could coat it 1-in-1, but you probably need to go back and check and make sure that you have your mesh filled. So you just want to check to make sure your mesh is filled. The lower the mesh count, the more emulsion you're going to be putting down on your screen. So for those of you out there that are kind of use the thought process of, and you're printing manually, and I get it, of using the lower mesh count because it's easier to print, you're going to get a brighter white. It also takes longer for your screens to dry. You're using more ink. The whole process takes, you have to flash it longer. You'll tend to run into issues where your print's wanting to stick to the back of your screen. So I would always recommend moving away from those 110s on up to the high 100s and using like a 230 mesh for your top colors, or even a 305. It will save you a huge headache, unless you have one of those clients that just, they're real picky about how bright their white is and it's just a one color deal. Then yeah, 110 will work great. But for the most part, I just reserve 110s for doing things that are like koozies, where I need to do one hit and make sure that it's going to be opaque enough with the white ink, or if it's like some sort of specialty print where I might just have one chance to get this print down correct. I just want to make sure I have enough ink flow through. So there's a lot of little issues that can be resolved with using some higher mesh screens, and you also get a softer print. You're going to save yourself some money, time, all that great stuff. So any other technical questions? Are you falling asleep over there?
No.
Tough out. Oh, that's hilarious.
Pray we could desire if looks to kill. Happy laughing faces. Marco Gonzalez, clap or wave. AC Printing Plus. He's like, damn, I used to work around the clock and all I'm hearing is wah wah wah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It does sound like actually we're complaining, but honestly, like, this is like one of the things, like, you guys are growing with us and you're seeing our progress, and this is one of the things that, you know, you have to see progressing as well. Like, it's not always gonna be, it's all right, we can handle this. No, some of the times it's gonna be, yeah, we had a shitty week and we've been fighting, and that's just kind of how it goes. So your guys are following the whole journey, not just the fun parts. So.
Juan, what is up, Juan? Good to have you on, dude. Been a while. I haven't even had
Juan.
I feel bad because I haven't been able to go and tune into the Juan's live stuff and watch Rye Beats and
Hi, Brian.
T-shirt chick stuff.
Yeah, you haven't been watching any of that lately. Normally, I'm like peering over his shoulder. Oh, who is it? Oh, tell me I said hi.
I'll say that part of it's just because we're all of a sudden it's just like bam.
It bottlenecked for us, guys. It really bottlenecked.
Yeah, and we weren't worried at any point. Just to let you guys know, if you were ever worried at any point as to whether or not we would make it through the hit that the economy took, we did just fine. It's quiet, if anything. We're just like trying to figure out what to do with ourselves, and kind of we're enjoying the calm before the storm, so to speak. And that storm being a flood of orders.
And now that's why we have to do that. Oh, and also, A&C Printing, we are in sync, but keep in mind, he's still my boss. So if we need to have like an actual conversation as employee and employer, that's what needs to be done. So,
I consider us more like Nirvana, not NSYNC.
I like NSYNC.
I don't like NSYNC.
I still make you listen to
them. I mean, they're okay. It's not that I don't.
Backstreet Boys that you hate.
It's not that I don't like them. I just don't like. I just don't like listening to their music. Does that make sense?
Anyways, Matt is still my boss, so if he feels like we need to have a meeting or / conversation, it's like, it's however you want to put it, then that's what needs to happen. But we are in sync, and we get what each other is saying, but at the same time, we need to sit down and really look over what we're doing that we probably got out of habit of doing, I think.
Yeah, like say for instance, I mean, if we need to go back and kind of reorganize tasks as to who's doing what in the shop, like say for instance, before when it was just you and I, we had a system down, and
I liked our system
with having the Printavo app and all that stuff. Like my deal was, I would separate the art, prepare the screens, or we would have Panda come in and reclaim the screens. I think that's something we need to probably look into.
We need a new shop. We need a new shop employee.
Again.
That's really what it was going to boil down to.
So I would get the art ready. Panda would get the screens ready, and then I'd coat them, let them dry, expose them, get the press set up, and in the meantime, you were on the end of knowing what is coming in the shop and making sure that everything was there. And they're like, okay, the shirts are counted, they're here. Come get me when they're ready, or when you're ready to print. And I would come get you. We'd start printing. You'd pack them. You used to kind of like neatly roll them up.
I don't have time for that. Are you
like
kidding
a burrito?
Me? I can't do that now.
And then I'd tape things up, slap a shipping label on, and then we'd move on to the next thing. I think here lately, I know you've been slammed with the emails.
I'm slammed to the point that I'm actually paralyzed.
I haven't. I think we just need to get back to kind of sharing some of these responsibilities rather than just be like, you're handling the email, because obviously I think that you needed some help. I need some help with, hey, what is this coming in? I don't even know about this order. Even though, and sometimes they're not necessarily on the calendar. It's just like, yeah, go ahead and send it. It's in the email, and that's kind of taken time away from actually.
So are you thinking we probably just need to like start blending the responsibilities back like the way that we used to, versus I'm starkly in one position, you're starkly in one position, and then
yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think
Can I start to talk about it?
Huh? No, because we need to have Michelle here too. There's some things that we need to talk over with Michelle as well. I think, because it's easy, because it is such a laid back environment here. I think it's easy to kind of feel like, and because we have gotten into the handling one little routine section of things, when you kind of get caught up. And Michelle as well, her
routine's gone too.
Why we probably just don't even need to bring someone else in, and we have Michelle, and it's like, hey,
she'd love that. She freezes it.
Here's the task at hand. I need help with reclaiming screens or getting squeegees ready to do the next job while I'm tearing the press down, setting the screens up. She could be pulling ink or clean the ink off the squeegees towards where we can just hammer. And during that process, you could be getting the shirts out and make that go faster, so that way we can we'll get it sorted out. But that's what I'm thinking is
Well,
is
keep in mind
more...
though, like half the time you popped in here today, I was like in the middle of doing something, and I was just like, "Can you just I need to do." And that's why, like, half the time I feel like people are like, "Hey, so what's your update?" I was like, "I thought I finished that." Oh wait, no, I was dragged off of my desk. I'm sorry, it's coming now.
Well, I
Like you did it like you did like 3 times within an hour at one point, and I'm just like, go. But eventually I said, go away.
Right, because I just need to be informed, so that way I don't.
But then
have
when
questions.
I try to inform you, sometimes if you feel overloaded, it's not really the best time to tell you.
Put it in the notes section for the job.
Do you read the notes?
Yeah, of course I do.
Okay, all right. I didn't know if you read the notes.
Put it in there, because I mean I got to go and look at the proof anyways, just to make sure what they've approved and what I'm printing is hunky dory. And between the shirts, the count, what colors are being used, it's kind of like that one job that I did where it was a navy blue print, and it was hard for me to tell that it was navy blue without actually pulling up the approval and opening it up in Illustrator, because Michelle had like skipped that one little step. So it's just little things like that where it's the attention to detail.
Okay, so
as far as that goes,
starting to turn it into a performance review, which I really think should be done behind closed doors, and we do have questions.
This is not a performance review.
We have questions.
You want me to review your performance review? No, this is us having a open discussion about what's going on around the business, and it's not like we haven't just had an open discussion about how or what we could do to solve some of the things that have been going on. And it's not a performance review, but let's go over to the chat and answer some questions, and because we'll talk about all that stuff with Michelle. That's not even, these are just, it's clicking. It's just clicking. It's like, yeah, we used to have a system down. We're talking about our system.
Well, then we got out of the system, and
not your performance.
Exploded.
We're talking about the machine. We just need to put a little oil on it. Hey, what's up, Joe? Hope you're doing well, dude. I haven't been able to go over and check out videos lately, but man, y'all been killing it over there. 8-ball imaging as well. I'll have to show that to Shannon. So 8-ball imaging started putting YouTube videos up, and she's like, "Hey, Matt, would you mind going over and checking out my video?" I was like, "Yeah." I could see where some of the influences came from with your own unique spin to it, but I thought it was very well put together. And keep it up, keep them coming, because I thought it was great and very informative. You're a great teacher. So, all right, let's see what we've got in the chat there, Shannon.
Brian wants to know, how much white ink do you have bleed through 50/50 shirts? I had shirts kicked back because they saw ink bleeding through. Like
bleeding through the inside of the shirt? Or is the dye migrating through the ink? Because we don't... There's been a handful of times where we've done orders, but It wasn't 50-50. We don't tend to have issues with 50-50. I use Wolflex Epic Amazing Bright White for cotton and my 50-50s. Just to keep things simple rather than having a separate ink for 100% cotton shirts. And we haven't had any dye migration issues aside from when we get a camo that is just hard to really block that dye migration, in which we have to use a specialty base, a low cure base. And also, if you're doing polyester, you're going to need a low cure polyester ink. Now, if that's not what you're necessarily asking for, if you're talking about the print coming through the shirt itself and kind of showing up through the back, ideally you want the print to lay on top of the fabric. And it just means you're putting too much pressure down. I don't know if you print manually or on an automatic, but just pull that pressure back. If you're on a manual or even automatic and you're having to put too much pressure to get your white through, I would say maybe try a little bit of curable reducer and or taking a look at your squeegee blades, your from the durometer and how sharp they are. If they're if they're worn squeegees and you're
It's a bleed.
it's a bleed as in
Ink bleed through 50-50, 110 mesh, 4 poles, Wolflex, something, Glacier White.
Oh, Glacier White. Now when is I don't quite. I guess I would need to see a picture, and if you want to go over and post it or email it to us, just email it to us. We'll take a look at it, and then I could give you some direction because, what your definition of bleed might be a little bit. I'm trying to figure out what we're talking about here as far as bleed goes. Are we talking about the dye migrating? Is it the ink kind of spreading out? Is it so I'll shoot me an email and I'll take a look at it and see if I can't help you troubleshoot it.
It's on an Auto Titan.
An automatic Titan. Let's see. Ink bleed through 50-50, 110 mesh, 4 poles, Wolflex. Okay. I imagine that's opaque, extra opaque, low bleed, maybe is what the abbreviation stands for, Glacier White. I would say that if you're doing 4 pulls with a 110 mesh, probably just putting down too much ink, because I tend to only do 2 hits on the Titan, and it's just enough squeegee pressure towards where you got your edge making contact, and then it bends a little bit, but you don't want it putting too much pressure towards where it's just smashing it through, and that can also cause an issue with it not clearing the screen. So yeah, email me a picture and I'll take a look at it. Who does your SEO?
No. We have one before that. Rise Apparel is like, please don't forget about my question.
Okay. Well,
Number one question. The first question.
The very first question? Well, okay. Hit me with it. What's the question?
Well, now I have to find it. Wondering. Okay, he recently purchased the template.
Okay.
He wonders if you have one for hoodies and hats. And by the way, he loves it. Changed the game for him. Please don't forget about his question.
Okay. What my plan is, and we appreciate the question. We appreciate you grabbing the template up. If you're talking about so it sounds like you're talking about the art approval template. What I'm going to do, and this is like part of the long list of things that I want to do and put on the channel is I'm going to update that towards where it's got hoodies, just kind of generic stuff, long sleeve, V-necks, maybe even onesies.
Onesies would actually be a good one.
Yeah, caps, all that stuff. Just because the issue is, obviously with the shirts on there, you can kind of use that generic picture as long as your client knows that it's a particular make of shirt. Then that's great. There's so many different styles of shirts and all that, but I'm just gonna kind of do like some of the generic things and update it. And for those that have purchased it, I'm gonna go and do an email. I'm gonna shoot out like a bulk email towards where I'll provide a link so that way you can go ahead and download that revised version. And then for those that want to grab it up, they'll already have it. So if you've already purchased it or if you're considering purchasing it, just know that I plan to continue to add to that. Initially, it was just something that was for us, and I believe it was Tommy. He's like, "Oh man, yeah, I'd be willing to check that out. You gonna sell that?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, well, let me know when you got it ready." So, I'm gonna update it and have a 2.0 version towards where it'll have a lot of those things.
And we're gonna figure out why it keeps saying not downloadable.
Yeah, I'm not much of a web programmer, and I set that up. If you do have a problem for some reason downloading it, then just let me know. We'll send it to you. If for some reason we don't get to you within a couple 2 or 3 days.
Just harass us.
Generally,
I'm probably missing.
We'll get with you within
I generally get with you guys within like a couple hours of seeing that.
So that's something as well that Shannon handles and does a great job with. So you do there. The amount of things that the responsibilities have grown, and perhaps maybe one of the things is the growing list of responsibilities for us really could dictate having someone help.
All right, Tuesday morning meeting. I'm up for it.
All right, let's
we got a couple of things still. AC Printing was saying that from what I'm reading, what it sounds like is printing on the pallet. Like it's like printing through onto the pallet.
Yeah, you just got too much pressure is what it is. So just back your squeegee pressure off, and it also could be what style of shirt is it, depending on
it's a 50-50, so I'm guessing a dry blend,
right? But depending on how open the shirt is,
he tore it down.
Tore what down?
The Titan.
He tore it down?
Yeah, he replaced all the flow control valves, flood, and stroke. First time it's been torn down that deep since 2011.
Oh, okay. So it sounds like an air. Is an all air Titan. And Action Steps is coming along awesome. I'm still working on it. I haven't forgot about it. I might just go ahead and put it out there. I think I'm just getting too picky with it, really. And
that's the thing, though.
My holdup is how much do I charge for this, and I know how I feel about other people's softwares, their separation softwares, and part of the deal to me is, none of them are going to be, they'll get you close, but I want to be able to, I put the wrong cut on. I want to be able to help you guys out with learning what it is that you can do to get the results you're after, and not just have to rely on a set of actions. The actions will get you there, but when you got an image where you run through it and you're like, man, this, this doesn't look good. What could cause it to actually not have the results you're looking for? And it could be, needing to pull the white base back, or pumping up certain areas of the white to make certain colors pop out more. I've actually been doing some, which I got a lesson tomorrow with Matt, training him how to essentially separate art and what to look out for. And I want to accommodate the action steps with some training videos on that, and I'm trying to figure out whether or not it would just kind of like be a special access type thing, towards where those that do grab it up will have a playlist that go through to really train your eye and know what to look out for when it comes to the separating. Or I might just toss it out there free for the world to watch, and action steps will be their kind of stepping stone into learning the separate. And I thought it was a little simpler. It was going to be easier, kind of like the template. It's like, oh, here's the template, this is what it does, if you have any questions, let me know, kind of thing. But this is more complicated when it comes into, when you're talking about simulated process, because every single job's just different. No job is, unless it's just a simple one color deal. But yeah, there's so many variables to it, which kind of, I don't want to put it out there and not be able to give you guys the help, or not be available. Also, I'm not sure with running the business and everything how much free time I'm going to have available. So I'm just trying to figure those options out. Whether it's, here's the price just to get the separations. I've already put the videos out there for you. Here's a price that is included with some sort of maybe lesson or mentorship or something like that. I don't know. All right, it is 8:02. Shannon, let's find questions. Okay, well, what are the questions?
Who does the SEO? Matt does. Short and sweet. Let's just do it short and sweet.
Use Yoast.
Ivan wants to know, well, first he says hello from Russia.
Hey, Ivan.
Cheers.
Shannon with her vodka.
How do you guys find those artists, or find an inspiration for any designs on your tees?
I would,
we do it ourselves.
Right. I would say for finding inspiration, if there's something that or an artist or their styles caught your eye.
For instance, I love anime.
Try to mimic it the best you can, or being creative simply is, maybe there's 3 different styles that you want to combine.
Yeah.
That's creativity in itself.
That's why I got my tattoo, because I did my first original art piece, because I combined like the concepts that I loved.
And I think inspiration or a cool idea can strike you at any time. I think if you're trying to force it,
God, my hair
makes
gnarly.
It makes it difficult to feel inspired. So definitely make sure it's something that you're passionate about, or you feel like, say for instance, when a client comes to me and they're like, hey, we want you to design this, and we're not on the same page, but I'll do it. I kind of really have to push myself to design it, versus if I'm excited about it, I'm like, I can't wait to dive into it.
I practically have to kick you.
Oh, hush.
Well, I do.
It depends. Like, what was that where the one dude put the cat on it? Like that was just, it was a bad mitzvah thing, and I just, for the life of me, I'm like, I didn't know where to go with it.
That was absolutely terrible. I'm not gonna lie.
The design,
your design came out beautifully,
the
but
design
the
came
cat
out
thing
great.
pissed you off so much.
And it took some digging.
He was so bad trying to find someone to design this thing. They just like stamp a cat on it, and Matt's just like, "Arr!"
It took a lot of digging to really, once I was in there and I liked the direction I was going in, it was a breeze after that.
That's when we decided to hire an extra graphic artist. That's when we decided.
Because
we were
I was swamped.
We can't do this anymore.
Yeah, I was swamped.
And we don't need somebody who's gonna stamp a cat on the shirt out of nowhere.
No. Yeah.
So that's when we decided to hire Michelle.
Yeah, because we tried the whole Fiverr artist thing, and that did not go. I wish I would have recorded that whole experience because I'm sure it would be.
It's mostly me and him rage screaming.
It would be a video that would be very interesting to watch. So.
Mostly it's tick, 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 and then you just hear random, why? That's really how it went, too. And for 5 different jobs.
Okay, let's get to some of the other questions.
We got, I think, 2 more things, and then we can go.
Okay, in Inbox Apparel and Design, just put up a question. Bad Brad, we do fix art, Inbox Apparel and Design, word of mouth, Google business listings, social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Same way you found us. And word of mouth is going to be the biggest, I would say. And
just being frankly shameless whenever you're talking to somebody, just like kind of work it into the conversation that you do shirts and always have a business card on hand.
Yeah, keeping a business card on hand if you happen to.
We've gotten orders from people we've met at the beach.
Yeah, if you're just chatting with somebody, just be like, "Hey, I print shirts, so keep your ear to the ground. If you know anybody, there you go."
And just be charming while you're doing it, so it doesn't seem like so blatantly salesy. Well,
thanks, Ivan. It's really complicated. Good night, Brian.
Inkbox. Okay.
Pretty Wicked Desire. See you later. Y'all have a. She's gonna go smoke a bowl and enjoy yourself. Go relax. No shame if you want to gain dollars. This is true.
I've been in sales longer than this guy, so I think I believe that'll help.
Inbox, like I got the charm down. There you go. I think we had one more question.
We did.
Rise Apparel.
Pros and cons on wood frames versus aluminum frames. By the way, hand pulling.
Oh, okay. So there's nothing wrong with wood frames. The cons of wood frames are, depending on the quality of them, they tend to warp with the heat and them getting wet. They'll warp on you, which makes it more difficult to hold registration or even expose to things. Pros, they're more affordable. I think that's probably about it. I mean, they're more affordable. They get the job done. Aluminum frames, the cons to them is they're a little pricier, but the flip side of that is you can reuse the frames and have them remeshed, and just in case. I mean, over time they lose their tension. You'll get tears, holes, whatever the case may be, and you can have them remesh, and you can always sell. Well, you can sell both of them, the wooden and aluminum. You know, if you're, let's say, trying to clear out some screens that you don't need because maybe you're getting an automatic or something, you need the bigger size screens, whatever the case may be. It's going to be a lot easier to sell aluminum screens, frames than it is wood. And
I
I
think the
think that
warping
about
thing
does
is
it.
the biggest issue that you've ever had with them.
Yeah, that I've had some just completely fall apart. Like, I don't know what this. Somebody had a bad day when they put those together because, I mean, they literally at the hinges were coming apart. So, well, that is going to wrap it up for
Bye, Tommy.
this
Thank
Monday's
you.
episode of Shop Talk. We appreciate you guys chilling with us and hanging out
And I am sorry. I look like
watching
such a
us.
hot mess.
Watching us go back and forth and discuss our business and having a little bit of family therapy here. But we are a family here, so
yeah. Well, just keep
we
in
felt-
mind though that if you do want to involve your significant other in this, you're going to have these conversations, and you know what? You're along for the ride, so why not like show what it's like?
even if you have a business partner that's a friend or something like that, I mean, you're gonna have to have these discussions.
Oh
so.
yeah, but no, it's so not the same.
We appreciate y'all tuning in. Be sure to tune in next Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We promise we'll be a little more awake and have something that.
Yeah, even you are less interesting.
Oh, you better hush your mouth. I'm feeding off your energy, buddy.
I have no
My
energy.
my
to feed
energy.
off of.
Yeah, exactly. I'm here. I'm here. The energy's there. Actually, I am pretty tired, but it's. I can't complain because we're.
That's my job.
We're blessed to be where we're at, and we're happy doing what we do. So.
And we're together.
Be sure to check out some of our tutorials and whatnot if you're new to the channel and you're tuning in later, and be sure to subscribe so that way you don't miss out on some cool stuff that we got coming up. We'll see you guys next Monday, and y'all enjoy y'all's evening.
And my hair will be washed next time.
It probably won't.
Yes, it will.